All right, welcome and thank you for tuning in. This is our Conquer Fitness weekly Q&A podcast coming straight at you from the gym here. Guys, please remember to like and subscribe this video and this channel. This is the channel and this is the videos where we answer all of your questions, anything diet, fitness, lifestyle, habits, routines, how to get in the best shape of our lives, right? This is what we do here, and I want to share my knowledge with all of you. So appreciate your time. Let's jump right into it, all right? We've got 3 great questions this week for you coming directly from clients and past clients, and I want to share these answers with everyone. I think we can all learn a little bit from this. So our first question, this is from Beth. Beth is a little newer to the gym. She's been kicking ass, and she's got a good question here about DOMS, all right? So Beth's question is, what is the best way to help sore muscles and DOMS? If you don't know what DOMS are delayed onset muscle soreness, right? So if you ever work out, you might feel good for one day, then day number 2, all of a sudden that super soreness kicks into our muscles, right? Maybe it typically happens a lot on leg days for us. So that's what DOMS are. So what is the best way to help muscle soreness and DOMS? So 2 things that come to my mind right off the bat is if we have DOMS and we're experiencing it, if we're experiencing some muscle soreness, I think the best thing that we can do at this point in time is, 1, we need to hydrate. We need to take in our protein, right? The protein is what's going to help us recover and repair those muscles. Our muscles are damaged. They need to be repaired and be replenished with more protein. We could also do some light activity with those muscles. So I'll just use, again, legs as an example. If we have sore legs and we're experiencing some excessive soreness with them, I think it's almost better for us to maybe go on like a small hike or do some light activity, some like light body weight squats, some light lunges, just a little bit of movement where we're activating those muscles again and getting some more blood flow to it, right? Kind of going back to that protein comment I made earlier, the more blood flow we get to these muscles, the more nutrients and protein that we are able to deliver to that muscle, and it will help facilitate further repair. The other thing that comes to mind is, how do we not deal with DOMS, but how do we kind of get ahead of it? And so what I recommend for a lot of my clients is an intra-workout drink, so a drink that we would drink while we're working out that's going to help facilitate recovery before it even needs to be done. So one something that I take with myself for every single workout is this Intra Blast right here from NutraBio. This is an intra-workout drink, so I would shake this up in like a shaker bottle while I'm working out. But what it's going to do for us, or actually what it is our Intra Blast is comprised of our essential amino acids. The word essential there, meaning our body cannot produce it. We need to take in an exogenous source, right? So the essential amino acids are what makes up a protein. So it's really the smaller form of a protein. And what it's going to do is it's going to turn on essentially like the muscle building factory within inside the body. And so it's going to start activating our cells to be receptive to protein coming in, and it's going to start that repair process in the middle of our workout. So this isn't something that we're going to do afterwards. This is something that we're going to do before to kind of alleviate even getting DOMS in the first place. Beth, I hope that helps you out. Our second question coming in from Chloe. Chloe is another one of our clients who is in here kicking ass 2 times a week. Loving it, Chloe. All right, our question is, what push and pull type workouts are there? So what's push and pull? What does that even mean, right? Push movement. So when I develop a workout program for someone, I try to incorporate upper body push and pull, lower body push and pull. So to put it very simply, a push, think about a bench press, right? We're pushing, so we're using our pushing muscles, our chests, our triceps, our shoulders, or the front of our shoulders at least. The exact opposite is a pull movement, so you can think of like a seated cable row, right? That's going to be working the opposites, the biceps, the back muscles, the posterior or the back side of our shoulders. Those are pushing and pulling. So when I think about building an upper body workout, I think about incorporating both push movements and pull movements. That's going to give us a well-balanced physique, right? Well-balanced performance. Same thing with the lower body, pushing and pulling. So the simplest explanation would be our leg extension machines where we're kicking our legs straight out. The opposite would be pulling, the leg curl machine. To make it a little more, or take it one step further, we can think about pushing movement for the lower body as like a squat or a leg press where we're driving that knee. And a pulling type movement could be something like a RDL, a Romanian deadlift, a straight leg deadlift, maybe the hyperextension machine where we're hinging at the waist and pulling ourselves back up, right? Those are examples of push and pull for both upper and lower. So if you're going to create like a home workout plan for yourself, or just trying to work out at the gym and trying to figure out what to do, try to always balance between pushing and pulling type movements. Last question we got today is from Lindsay. Lindsay was a client of ours a while back. Her husband still comes 2-3 times a week. Let's see what she's got for us. So, what to focus on after turning 40, right? So, the two big topics that come into my mind when we talk about women turning 40, and I'm not saying you're there yet, but I think the best approach to this is to be proactive. And so we're going to talk osteoporosis and menopause, right? Osteoporosis, as we know, is the bones getting weaker, more fragile, more susceptible to breaking. So if you're going to be going to your doctors and you're getting your blood work done, we're looking for a T-score +1 or above, right? That's going to be a healthy score for us. -1 to like -2.5 or anything below that is we're getting into the osteoporosis area, and that's where we become pretty susceptible to injury from like fall risks. That's where we see older people breaking their hips or breaking their shoulders or legs. So we want to prevent that, right? And the best way to prevent that is strength training. We got to think when we're strength training, and I'm going to use the simplest exercise as an example here. If we're going to do a bicep curl, right? Let's not think about it's not the bicep, the muscle itself, that's doing the actual lifting of the weight. The bicep's contracting and allowing the bones to lift and move that weight. So what we're actually doing is we're placing load or stress on those bones, strengthening those bones, and eventually it will lead to like a higher T-score and less fragile bones, stronger bones, more dense. That's how we kind of protect ourselves. So we really want to incorporate a really good strength training routine with weights, not just body weight. We want to actually put on additional load to that. We need to stress ourselves so that we can build ourselves stronger and protect ourselves for the future. So most important thing is to start doing that before we get to that point, right? Same thing with the menopause. Menopause starts somewhere in your mid-40s, sometimes in your early 50s. What it's going to do is essentially our estrogen levels are crashing. And once our estrogen levels crash, our muscle mass starts to atrophy or disappear along with that too. So again, if we're in our younger 40s, lower 40s, or even if we're after, which a lot of our clients here are fall into that category, again, the best thing that we can do for ourselves is to incorporate a really strong strength training routine. We want to, if we're pre-menopause or perimenopause, we want to get ahead of the curve as fast as possible. We want to build as much muscle as we possibly can in these years now, so that when we get older, if we start to lose some muscle, we're already ahead of the curve, we're stronger. Again, kind of relating it back to our bone density, we're going to have the ability to maintain stronger bones and a stronger body to carry us into our older ages, right? And this goes hand in hand with even weight control or fat control. If we are strength training, we're putting a much larger metabolic stress on our body than it would be if we were to go outside for a walk or just doing cardio on the treadmill or elliptical, right? We need to lift weights. The more muscle fibers that we can contract and recruit during a training session, the more likely we are to burn calories, build muscle, increase our bone density, and improve our quality of life, not only today, but 10, 20, and even 30 years down the road. And that's after all that what we're trying to do, right? We're trying to secure those last 10 years of our lives. We want to be mobile, active, and be able to do things well into our 70s, 80s, 90s, and God bless if you can even get to your 100s. So I hope these answers help you guys out. Again, this is a weekly podcast. Keep an eye out for our question sticker on Instagram, Facebook. If you have questions, this is the place to get them answered, all right? Thanks for tuning in, guys. We will talk to you next week.